Hi, everybody. My name is Andrew LeBlanc.
And I'm Eric Lewis. Welcome to another Town Talk Community Spotlight. This week, we're joined by Julie Hopkins, the Executive Director of the Riverview Arts Centre. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Julie, we're so happy to have you with us today. I know there's a lot of really cool things that are happening at the Riverview Arts Centre, and we look forward to hearing all about it. But just to start, could you maybe give us a quick overview about what Riverview Arts Centre does and what it's all about?
Be glad to. Always love to talk about the Riverview Arts Centre and the theater. So the Riverview Arts Centre started in 2006 by some amazing volunteers. And so now 15 years later, we're going strong and with a little nip in the butt there with COVID. But other than that, we've been going strong year over year. We've been growing every year to try to increase. We inspire a passion for the arts while enriching the cultural life of our community. So we like to have diversity in our programming, and we're offering more and more shows. Like I mentioned, this year is a little bit odd, but we've had some great shows over the past years, and many Juno nominated award winners and things like that. So it's been great.
Right on.
So it's music, it's theater. I believe there's a sort of a drama program for children. Is that right? Tell us a bit about that.
So last summer, we started doing drama camps for children. This summer, we had 3 weeks of drama camp, 100% done by our summer students. And we offered all kinds of drama, improv training, music, dance. They even did a number to Mamma Mia. The students that attended this summer had a great summer. And we had some great reviews, and 100% of them want to come back or would tell their friends to come back. So we had a fabulous summer with the drama camp this summer.
That's awesome. And you mentioned, go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, I'm going to interrupt if I can. Julie, the Arts Centre does a really good job of connecting with students in the high school, and I know there's a number of opportunities for them to get involved. Could you touch on that just a little bit?
Absolutely. So because the Riverview Arts Centre Royal Theatre is located inside of Riverview High School, what we do, and part of our mandate, is to give jobs to students at the school. A lot of the students will start off as maybe just a stagehand to get their feet wet. They may decide that they're into being a stage manager, that type of thing. Or we have several students that have taken on roles as sound, audio technicians, or also lighting technicians, depending on what their opportunities are. We've also had opportunities where we work with Olton students, and they've done our security and our parking. So it's not ballet, but it's the next best thing. We also do have students from the different colleges as well that do their on-the-job training. Also, we partner with the school as well. So if there's students in the high school, we've had a number of co-op students as well that have come to work with us. They may come in the morning, they may come in the afternoon, depending on when their co-op is. So we're always looking for opportunities to give back to the community and encourage the students to get involved in any way. Whatever their passion is, there's a part for those students to play with the Riverview Arts Centre.
Oh, that's awesome.
You mentioned how, this being a strange year with COVID, and obviously all forms of entertainment just came to a sort of a screeching halt. What did that mean for you guys initially and the shows you had booked? And then sort of how did you weather through some of this and still do some programming?
Yeah. So the last show that we had was in March, and we had the Bay City Rollers. And even at the time, they, of course, Bay City Rollers, direct from Scotland. So even as things were starting to happen in Europe, that's as soon as it started to affect us here in Riverview, because as soon as the government issued travel advisories where people were going to have to quarantine for 14 days before coming into the country, that's where we were with the Bay City Rollers. The Bay City Rollers made it in just before and had that last show. And then one of our next shows was supposed to be the Scottish Fiddle Orchestra, and they were going to do their 40th anniversary tour through North America. So it was very, very quickly evident that all of these great acts that we were having come from the other side of the pond and from Europe and elsewhere away, that we weren't going to be able to have those happen. So quickly, the shows started to be either postponed, or there was only 2 shows that we canceled. and we say canceled, but both of those artists will be coming back. So everything that we've done is going to happen again when we're able to, depending on where the artist is from. So we're in the process now of, just like most organizations and businesses, pivoting to see, okay, well, how can we still inspire a passion for the arts and enrich the cultural life of our community? So we're looking at some really interesting opportunities. So I would love for all of your listeners and viewers to make sure to tune in and follow us on Facebook and on our social media, on our website, because we will be having some surprising announcements coming up shortly. And I'd love to have been able to announce it here tonight, but we're still going to give back to the community, because we feel at the Riverview Arts Centre that everything that we do, it's all for our community. And some people, their passion is hockey or some other type of sport, but there's so many people that arts and culture is their passion, that we feel it's very important to give back and to start having that arts and culture back into the community and be that beacon of hope for people, so that they can, come out and hear some live music and just get taken away by the music and the moment. And whether it's music, whether it's arts, whether, like you say, it's theater, that's what we're working towards.
That's awesome. I recall when the Arts Center initially was sort of an idea that became an established place in Riverview. It was to fill a void because we didn't have sort of an artistic hub. Can you talk a bit about how it's evolved over the years, from obviously that idea opening up and then what it is today? What's that journey been like?
I think as far as the journey, it's been constant growth. So it's like I mentioned earlier, it was started by some amazing volunteers, and all run through volunteers and some fabulous artists that have come through who've gone on to do some amazing things. Back 4 years ago, the board had decided to hire full-time staff. And so I started, and that gave us some opportunity to expand. So in the past 4 years since I've been on board, first as director of operations and now as executive director, we've been continually growing and trying to increase our number of paid staff and onwards as well. So that allows us to have that bandwidth to be able to give back and to be able to try new things. And like I said, this year we have several students. We had 7 summer students that we've been able to hire. And that's, like I said, allowed us to expand our bandwidth. Not only that, we expand our staffing in all different elements of the business as well. But we couldn't do it without our amazing volunteers. And we do have well over 50 volunteers that help us from on our executive to our working committees, as well as we also have show committee as well, right? So that would go from ticket takers to parking attendants or ushers to help people get to their seats, that type of thing. So this would be a great time for me to put a plug that if anybody wants to come on board and volunteer, it's really growing, and we've been having great success over the past years. So we're really excited for what we're going to be able to do as soon as we're allowed to have a full house.
And kudos to you for some of the work that you've done. I've been fortunate enough to be on the board for a number of years now, and I've seen how much growth has really come into the center since you started. There's everything from diversity of shows to the amount of people that you've brought on board to be volunteering and to bring in new staff. So some really awesome things that have happened. So certainly congratulations to you and the whole team for everything you guys have done to expand the Riverview Arts Centre in town.
Thank you so much for that, Andrew.
Oh, no problem. You didn't even pay me to say that. So, so look, I know you can't give away any big secrets about what's coming in the future, but, is there anything in terms of like reopening plans or anything like that? We don't know any of those details yet. Do you have anything sort of in the works for what could happen when the center reopens that you're allowed to share with us?
Yeah. So when the center reopens, basically we have an operation plan to keep everyone safe. Currently, we're just waiting to be able to turn that key and get that go ahead, because we are working in conjunction with the school district. So we need to have that permission to kind of open up and to bring in and have people in there. But in the meantime, like I say, stay tuned to social media, because we expect that we may have some pop-up opportunities as well, where we may not start at the theater. We may actually start at a local venue or restaurant type of facility. And so stay tuned to that. So because essentially, whether we can serve 600 people that the theater holds, or whether we can have more of an intimate and a VIP crowd at a smaller location, like I say, we really want to give back to the community and get them in listening to arts and culture and performance art.
It's such an important piece of any community to have that pillar of arts and culture in it. So we're certainly glad that that you guys are here to be the champions of that in Riverview. So thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
You mentioned Facebook, you mentioned your website. Do you want to tell us what the website address is so people can find you if they're not already following along?
Sure. Our website is www.riverviewartscentre.ca, or they can find us on Facebook as well.
Perfect. Well, thank you again for being here, chatting with us. We really appreciate it. We look forward to that news you've got coming up sometime in the near future.
Thanks so much for having me. Really appreciate your time, guys.
Thank you. And thanks for watching Town Talk, everybody.